Guys, DK back at you with another video here for the NFL Showdown slate with the Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers. First, let's look back to see what we did real quick yesterday in the main slate. So it ended up being a losing day. Cashed a few head-to-heads and 50-50s, but losing day overall. So right in the mark, I said Jameis Winston was a lock. Did not disappoint. Was the highest QB of the day. Tevin Coleman, that was a little disappointing. We saw Ito Smith get a lot more work than I thought he would. And Tevin Coleman just, he wasn't getting as many carries. Kind of got bailed out with the reception touchdown. So we got a little lucky there, to be honest. So with the high price running backs, I talked about Melvin Gordon. I talked about James Conner. I talked about Joe Mixon and McCaffrey. I wanted two of those four, but with news of Dalvin Cook sitting out, I think I had to pivot to Latavius, leaving me only one spot for a high-priced running back. Ended up going with Mixon of those four. He didn't do bad, but definitely would have loved to have Melvin Gordon or James Conner in there instead. Julio didn't score again. That's crazy. He's being how many games he's been without a touchdown, but he did good. First price tag. Mike Evans was that was frustrating. We saw Jameis light it up and basically throw touchdowns to everyone but the number one receiver, Mike Evans. So yeah, that was a little frustrating. And then Washington, that was also very frustrating. We saw them get off an early lead, and I saw them Vernon Davis vulture a touchdown from Jordan Reed, and then Mo Harris they got off to that early lead and they were just pounding Adrian Peterson. So pretty frustrating to watch that one. I had a 2v2 with Mo Harris and Jordan Reed versus Njoku, who I talked about in the video, who I loved, and Chester Rogers. So obviously I picked the wrong two and it cost me, but what can we do? So let's get into Showdown slate tonight. So real quick, we got an over-under of about 47 with the Packers about a 9-point favorite. All right, so this slate, it's probably the most interesting Showdown slate thus far of the year just because of all of these injuries, guys. So yeah, I guess let's start with the 49ers to talk about their injuries. So Kittle, he's questionable. I do expect him to play. He was a limited participant in practice. I expect Kittle to play. Matt Breida is also questionable. It's going to be a game-time decision. So we'll have to wait and see with that. Pierre Garcon, he's also questionable. And then let's see, Trent Taylor, their slot receiver, is doubtful, so I don't expect him to play. Dante Pettis, who stepped in with Goodwin, out for a few games, he is out. Then obviously we know Jimmy G's in the IR. And then real quick, let's look at Green Bay. Geronimo Allison's questionable, along with Randall Cobb. Both of them should be game-time decisions. So yeah, we got a lot to talk about here. So first, let's look at San Francisco, and let's look at the snap counts here for them last game. So Goodwin is out, but he will be back this game. So he's obviously going to get a lot of snaps. Garcon's questionable. So if he ends up being out, that's 63% of the snaps that have to go somewhere. Victor Bolden saw 58%. Trent Taylor, we know he's doubtful, so he's probably out. So that's a lot of snaps that have to go somewhere. Kendrick Bourne, 43%, and then James, 24%. So if Garcon ends up being out with Taylor, there's a lot of value here for the 49ers. So let's look at their salaries. So we got all the way at the bottom here, Richie James Jr. We saw him get 24% of the snaps, $200 price tag there for him. And then let's see, Victor Bolden, we saw him get 60% of the snaps, I did get targeted 4 times, only 1 reception. And then let's see here. Kendrick Bourne. We saw how many snaps did he get? He saw 43% of the snaps. He got targeted a bunch, 7 targets, 4 receptions. So we know Trent Taylor's doubtful. So yeah, there's a lot of value to be opened up here. Again, guys, follow me on Twitter. It is DK__DFS. It'll be in the description below. I will give my thoughts as we get more news. Usually the inactive, I think it's like an hour and a half before game time. So we'll have a better overview of the slate at that time period. But yeah, now let's look at Green Bay real quick. So we know Geronimo Allison and Randall Cobb are both questionable game time decisions. So with that being said, with both them being out, you definitely have to give a hard look to MVS. He played basically every single snap last game against Detroit. And then Devontae Adams, we know he's a PPR machine. He's going to catch 10 balls. So definitely give a hard look to Devontae Adams. St. Brown will only be in play for me if Cobb and Allison are both out. So yeah, this is a pretty tough slate here. Like I said, we got to wait for the news. But so basically how I think this game's going to be played out. It's obviously Green Bay, 10-point favorites. I think they get off to the early lead. I think San Francisco's going to play from behind and play catch-up, throw the ball a lot. So with these salaries, we've got Aaron Rodgers at 12-2, CJ Beathard at 8,800. I prefer Beathard just because what game flow should be. Like I said, Green Bay should, with the spread, get off to a lead, and San Francisco will be playing from behind. So I think Green Bay will maybe use the ground game a little more, and San Francisco will have to convert through the air. So I really like CJ Beathard here at a discounted price tag to Aaron Rodgers. So he's been throwing the ball a bunch, 37 times against the Chargers, 54 times against Arizona. Hasn't rushed it as much as he did last season. We do know he has a floor of his rushing ability, so I really like that as well. And then let's see here. His number one target here, I think Kittle's going to play. He's questionable, so we'll have to wait and see. But I really like George Kittle here, pairing with C.J. Beathard. And then, it's kind of a crapshoot from there. So we got to wait for the injuries. But we could go to some of these cheap wide receivers down here for San Francisco. So we'll have to do a kind of wait and see approach with that. I don't know, 12-2. I don't know if I want to go Aaron Rodgers here. I'll kind of have to wait and see. It's tough because Green Bay's got a 3-headed monster at running back. So let's look at Green Bay's running back situation here. So their week 5 snap counts went like this once it loads. So they're playing from behind. So Aaron Jones didn't see as many snaps as he should have, with only 27%. And Ty Montgomery and Jamal Williams saw 36 and 41% respectively. But that's just because Green Bay is playing from behind. With Green Bay playing from with the lead, I think the running back you want here is Aaron Jones. Was pretty productive in his carries against Detroit. We've seen he's got a pretty healthy yards per carry for Aaron Jones. So if you're picking a Green Bay running back, I think you got to go with him. And then let's see. Okay, so let's just try and make a lineup here. First look lineup. So like I said, guys, I really like C.J. Beathard here. I really like the discount off Aaron Rodgers, so let's throw him in at captain. So we got 7,300 remaining average salary. So I think it's definitely possible to get Aaron Rodgers in here too if you want to go with that route. So let's go with that route first here. Throw in Aaron Rodgers. Let's throw in Devontae Adams, and let's see if we can get George Kittle too. 2,600 remaining. That basically forces us to get one of these cheap San Francisco receivers. Let's see. could we go Kendrick Bourne, and then St. Brown if Cobb and Geronimo Allison are out, you could go with like a lineup like that. How I don't know if I want to play Aaron Rodgers. I think I might go with the Aaron Rodgers fade here. It's risky, but I think that's kind of what I want to do. So I think I would more go of a San Francisco stack here with the receivers, and then run it back with maybe Devontae Adams, Jimmy Graham. Let's see, where is Aaron Jones here? And then you could go down and get, I guess you could go with a cheapy, one of the receivers if some of those guys are out, or you could go, Ty Montgomery, something like that. So it's really, we don't have a lot that we have to work with now, just because everyone's basically questionable in this game. So like I said, guys, really important to follow me on Twitter at DK__DFS. With more news that comes out, I will give my thoughts there. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. I will see you Thursday for the Showdown slate then. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys.